Hello everybody. So this is the last lecture of Unit 4 and you can say last lecture of your syllabus for the completion purpose only. Okay. So after this we will continue with the solving your doubts and queries. Okay. So as I told you, you just communicate with me on WhatsApp and we will arrange separate lecture for that in which we will solve the problem. Okay, or we will take separate problem solving session for the syllabus. So here, analytical method validation. So as we know that we are using the different methods for the qualitative and quantitative analysis of the different substances like organic, inorganic substances. But whatever methods we are using for the analysis, that is qualitative and quantitative analysis, whether that methods are giving proper result or not, how we will come to know or how we can guess the method which we are following is a good one or having some kind of or giving some kind of error in the analysis. Okay, so the main problem for the analyst, okay, is to test the validity of any method at any given situation. Okay, so when number of methods are available for performing any analysis, so how we can decide the which method is proper. Okay, so for a given species or compound, the choice of particular method in the analysis depends upon the different factors like interferences, accuracy, concentration level, then time, cost of analysis, expertise, and special equipments that are required for the analysis. Okay, so the analyst has to prove that the chosen method can be used effectively and efficiently. And in the case of the problem on hand, so we have to decide what problem is there in our hand and how we can choose efficient and effective method for the solving problem. So this process of justifying that the method can be applied is known as the method validation. Okay? So how we do the validation of the method and what is the need. So any analysis is carried out to fulfill the needs of the clients, okay, or the end users. The method may be, reported one, but the analyst should be able to convince the client that the method used is the best possible method for the sample. This has to be substantiated by the actual analysis of the sample using the method. Okay, thus the need to validate an existing method is very important for the client, and it acts as an objective evidence that the method already reported in the literature can be successfully applied to solve the problem which is there in our hand. This objective comes in the form of number of experimental tests carried out by using that the method and the evidences which are obtained from that method. Okay, so the method that this term is used for the set of procedure to which an analytical method is subjected to provide the evidence that the method, if used in a manner specified, will produce a result that confirms the statement of the method validation parameter. Okay. As with the concept of fitness of the purpose, a method is validated for particular use under the particular circumstances. Many answers have been provided to the question of what is the method validation. It involves the evaluation of analytical method with respect to fitness that we need to do. Then the process of proving that the analytical method is acceptable for its intended purpose or the motto. Then the ISO definition runs as a process of establishing performance characteristic, the limitation of a method, and the identification of the influence which may change these characteristics and to what extent. Okay, so which analytes can determine in which matrix and in presence of which interferences. Within these conditions, what level of precision and accuracy can be achieved. So ISO 17025 states that the method validation is confirmed by examination and the provision of objective evidence that the particular requirement for a specified intended use are fulfilled. Okay, it provides a procedure for validating the method. Proper documentation is a proof of validity for this. So when we need to validate any method which we are using for the qualitative and quantitative analysis, so what conditions, what circumstances, what situations are there or where there is a need of validation? Okay, if a new method is developed for a particular problem, so we need to have a full method validation. Then existing method tested for applicability to the problem. ऑलरेडी मेथड आहे पण त्याचा प्रॉब्लेम नवीन प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये ती आपण अप्लाय करतोय त्या ठिकाणी सुद्धा आपल्याला वी नीड टू हॅव अ फुल व्हॅलिडेशन ऑफ दॅट मेथड established method revised to incorporate improvements. Okay, in the market already you are using a method for particular problem solving. Again, if you are using SEM method, so there is a need to have a full validation of that method. If you are improving that method, okay, under that situation. Established method extended for a new problem. Already method आहे पण नवीन प्रॉब्लेम घेताय तुम्ही काहीतरी तर त्याच्यासाठी आपण partial method validation is required. So quality control indicates that the method is changing with time. In that also we will need to have partial validation. Established method with a different laboratory. Same method आहे, but that method is used in the different laboratories. Under that situation, we need to have partial validation. Established method with the different instruments. Okay, if you are doing the pH analysis with the different methods like potentiometer, pH meter, then you are using pH paper. So in that case also you have to have a partial validation of that methods. Then established method with the different operators. Okay, if SEM method is used by different people or the different persons, in that case also we need to have a partial validation. So what characteristics are followed for the validation of the method? Like a selectivity is there, the specificity is considered, limit of detection is considered, limit of quantification is considered for method validation. These are the factors which we are, or the characteristics we followed for the verification or the validation of the method. Okay, so recovery of the method, working and linear ranges by method, the accuracy of the method, precision of the method which we are using, then ruggedness, then robustness. Ruggedness म्हणजे खडखडीतपणा, robustness म्हणजे त्याचा आपण म्हणू ना की वेगवेगळ्या सिच्युएशन मध्ये सुद्धा that works in a proper way. Okay, we'll see that, no problem. So first is the selectivity and specificity applies to the presence of interferences that may inhibit analyte conformation or enhance or suppress the concentration of analyte. Method development will have to be carried out in this case to ensure that the method becomes specific with respect to the analyte under the consideration. Then next is the limit of a detection. Limit of detection is that. Okay, so it is defined as the minimum concentration of analyte that can be conclusively determined by the used method. Limit of quantification, indeed it indicates that the lowest level of concentration that can be determined by a given method with an acceptable confidence level. Then sensitivity is there. So it is a measure of a change in response of an instrument with the change in the concentration of analyte. How it show the even a slight change in the concentration of analyte. Okay, then only you can say that I have changed the concentration, very slight concentration of the analyte, and that method shows a sharp change with the change in the concentration. Then we will be assured regarding the sensitivity of that method. Working and the linear ranges are there. So for any quantitative method, a range of concentration exists over which the method may be applied. काही मेथड्स ज्या आहेत जसं की तुम्ही बघितलं की रेंज असते, जसं ड्रॉपिंग मर्क्युरी इलेक्ट्रोड आपण वापरला, in that case the range was minus 0.4 to 0.2 volts. Okay, that was a range. Okay, in a same way, instrument like AS is there, that AS is also working in a proper range only. So beyond that, it can detect the concentration up to part per billion level. That cannot detect in a part per billion level. For that, we need to use a induced couple plasma technique or any other technique. No? So here we are considering lowest level of quantification or highest level of quantification. You can say the detection. Okay. After that, bias and accuracy are the also characteristics we need to follow while doing the method validation. Accuracy of method depends on the error associated with it. The error may be methodic, operational, or it may be associated with the sample. The error can produce bias in the sample. Then the bias estimated can be made by analyzing a matrix match certified reference material by the same method and comparing the result obtained with the known results. The standard analysis may be carried out 10 times. Okay. The accuracy of the method can be tested by the recovery test as well. And this is usually done with the when the matrix match certified reference material is not available. So in this case, a known amount of analyte that is estimated from the sample is added to it. The response determined before and after the addition of analyte. From the two responses, the concentration of analyte added can be calculated. And it is necessary to predetermine the concentration of analyte by calibration curve method. In this way, we can determine bias and accuracy, which occurs in the method. Okay, so where R1 and R2 are the responses produced before and after the addition of the analyte. S is the amount of sample, that is amount of the analyte added to the sample, and X is the amount of analyte present in the sample. Okay, so these are also followed over there. Next is a precision. So what is the precision of method? It always stands for the agreement of the set of value amongst the set of observations. So repeated analysis prove the workability of the method and is providing with the reproducible result. The precision of the measurement is expressed in terms of standard deviation for the set. The measurement can be carried out at one concentration repeatedly, and then the standard deviation can be evaluated, or the measurement can be carried out at the different concentration level in the working range, and standard deviation can be evaluated for each case. Okay, so in general, second method is preferred, as it will establish the repeatability of the method over the entire working range, which is chosen for the analysis. So 10 repeated measurements are recommended for each concentration level in the working range. Correctness, so whenever a method is applied, optimum parameter or the variables are selected as those which corresponds to the optimum conditions. Ruggedness and robustness of the method try to test the method when optimum conditions are not maintained but changed by a slight margin. It is interesting to know how the performance of the method or the response of the instrument changes with the change in the parameter. If the method is robust, then it is expected that with a slight change, okay, in the parameter, the variable being placed at a value slightly different from the optimum value, the performance of the method should not change. Okay, तर म्हणजे काय आहे की थोडक्यात काही कंडिशन्स जरी प्लस मायनस झाल्या तर that should give a proper response. Okay, that should give a proper response. That is very important for any method, because every time the conditions are not possible to maintain as it is, and hence the ruggedness is also necessary. Now, measure of uncertainty, like ruggedness and robustness studies can be used to provide the information about the uncertainty associated with any method. Evaluation of uncertainty involve identifying all the parameters that affect the final result, calculating the uncertainty associated with each factor, and finally combining all these uncertainties in a proper manner to provide the final uncertainty that affect the result of analysis. Okay, so this is very similar to the robustness study that are carried out. So these are the things or the characteristic we need to follow while validating any method. So this is all regarding the method validation. Okay, so by you closing your eyes, if you only listen to this lecture uh, again and again, so twice or thrice, most of the concept will get clear to you. Okay, so the syllabus is over. This was the last lecture from Unit 4. Remaining doubt, I will clear whenever you'll ask in me in a WhatsApp group, or separately even you can do a phone call. Thank you.